Hey, all, Pastor Emil here, coming to you from my office here this lovely Sunday afternoon. Hope you're having a great day, a great holiday weekend. Just wanted to encourage you to consider this 2020 Love Challenge. Challenge myself, challenge the congregation this morning. If you have any interest, you can take a look at the worship video I recorded earlier today on Open Arms Church Facebook page. But hey, we need more love in this world. We need a lot more love in this world, and maybe that is just the solution to some of the chaos that we're seeing there. And I heard a quote from a guy, Abraham Hamilton III, I believe he is. Somebody sent me a link to a podcast he did. Haven't listened to the whole thing yet, but one of the first things he says is, what happens in the White House doesn't matter nearly as much as what happens in your house. And so what I challenged us to do, this 2020 Love Challenge, is, hey, let's be more loving. Let's be more kind in everything that we do, in all that we say, and all the conversations we have, especially as we gear up for what is definitely shaping up to be one contentious election, in addition to all of the other crazy stuff that we're dealing with in this god-awful year that is 2020. And the challenge was this: every day for at least the next 13 days, maybe the next 30 days, maybe until the election, maybe until the end of this year, let's take a look at 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Let's read it. Let's think about how Jesus exemplifies all of these things. Let's think about how God might be calling us to display this in our own lives. Let's thank Him for what He's done for us in Jesus. Let's ask Him to show us the ways that we have failed to display this in our life. Let's ask Him to show us the opportunities that He's placing around us to display it in our lives. Let's ask Him to show us where we may have gotten it right, so that we can keep doing it like that, so that we can continue to be loving. As I shared this morning, I used this scene from The Princess Bride with Miracle Max. I don't know if you're familiar with that scene. I posted the video for it last night, so take a look at my Facebook page, and you can watch this 3 or 4 minute video clip of the movie The Princess Bride. There's this guy, he's mostly dead, and they're trying to save him, and Miracle Max tries to get him to tell him why he should save him, what's the noble cause that he'd be supporting, and the guy says true love, but Max doesn't hear that. So first and foremost, sometimes we say true love, we think we're communicating in love, but that's not what people hear. We didn't do it right. Okay. Second thing is, sometimes we say it, but they just don't understand it, because sometimes the most loving thing to do is not perceived as loving, right? And then third, sometimes, like Miracle Max, you say it, you do love, you act with true love, and they don't want to hear it. They know that's what you said. Everyone around them is telling them that's what you said, but they just don't want to hear it. But the fourth thing, the most powerful thing in that whole scene, is that even though he resists it, even though in the end he helps, and it is not because of true love, but because of his own terrible motives, Miracle Max, the whole situation is transformed because of true love. And so I hope you'll join me on this challenge, 2020 Love Challenge, to every day, maybe at 1:13 p.m. for 1 Corinthians chapter 13, maybe at 1:13 a.m. if you're a night owl. I don't care when you do it, but at least for the next 13 days, take a moment, read through it, and ask yourself those 3 questions, okay? How God has done it for us in Jesus, thank Him for it, and then ask Him how you can see that in your life, the opportunities where maybe you failed, the opportunities that are yet to come, and the ways that you have taken advantage of those opportunities. So, I'm just going to try and read through this real quick to give you an idea, all right? So, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. When I was a child, I spoke like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I gave up childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known. So now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, but the greatest of these is love. You know, for today, the thing that strikes me the most is that we are fighting so hard for so many things. We're trying to win. We're trying to achieve greatness for us, for our country, for our political party, for our community of believers, maybe as Christians, or if we're part of a different community, black and white and everything in between. And we're working so hard. And here Paul tells us, he tells a bunch of Christians in a city where they were working really, really hard to be special, to be amazing, to be achievers, to be winners, type A people. People who wanted to make it. People who wanted to be the best, right? He tells them it's all meaningless. It's all nothing if it's not got love. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. One of the things that sticks out to me there is the tongues of angels, right? There's this idea of like spiritual power. Like we want spiritual power at work in us. We want amazing manifestations of spiritual power in our lives and in our community as Christians. And what Paul is saying is that even if you have some of the most amazing spiritual power at work in you and in your community, it doesn't matter if it's not accompanied by love. And so on the other side of that, you could actually display great works of spiritual power and still not actually be transformed by the grace of God in Jesus Christ. There's actually a passage in Matthew chapter 7, I think it's maybe verses 21 through 24, something like that, where Jesus is talking to a group of people and to his disciples, and he says, "Many of you will say to me on that day, 'Lord, Lord,' right? And I will say, 'I never knew you.' And they are going to say, 'Well, but wait, we've done all of these things. We've cast out demons in your name. We've had these great acts of spiritual power.' And he's going to say, 'It doesn't count. Doesn't matter. I never knew you.'" Love is the foundational quality of what it means to be a Christian, not achieving anything else at all. Love is at the heart of it all. So let's not pursue spiritual power. Let's not pursue earthly power. Let's not pursue anything else but love. I hope you join me for the next 13 days at least, probably turn it into 30 or more days. Who knows? Hopefully it works. It does something. Spread the word. Like, share, comment, and let's see how many people we can get just reading 1 Corinthians 13 every day and taking it seriously, thinking about the love of God in Jesus and how he might have us live in these very unloving times. God bless you. Hope to catch up with you soon and hear from you. Let me know how it's going. See ya.